Hola mis serenitas, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Chiquita Serenita, and today we're going to do a review on the new Beauty Creations Ariel Palette. This palette, I believe it costed $19. I got it on launch day. There are at least 4 other videos, I want to say 3 or 4 other videos on YouTube as of right now. Is because they have their little, shop that they have in Cerritos, California. So they are selling in-store as well as, shipping out. Unfortunately, it's 6 hours away from me. I'm not gonna drive 6 hours just for a palette. So from now on, I'm believing there will be always a couple of videos before you guys get to my video. I used to be probably one of the first all the time, but now since they've opened up their shop, it's like literally impossible to get to it now. It takes to me, I think, at least a week to get to me, okay? So it is going to be there. It's just going to take a while to get to me. I know some people are like, did you get the palette, Sarah? Did you get the palette? I was like, yeah, I did, but it hasn't shipped to me physically, okay? I can't control that. So this is the palette, you guys. When you open it up, these are the tones in here. It has a lot of blue, greens. They got some pinks and purples down here. They do have some light colors up here. Honestly, when I created this look today, because there isn't a tutorial, I'm sorry you guys, there isn't a tutorial on this, but I did stick mostly to this side. I want to tell you guys that I used this shade right here at first for my transition, and I did not like it. It barely showed any pigment like on my actual eyelid, and it was super light, so I don't really recommend that shade in particular for someone of my skin tone or darker. It'll show up really ashy on the skin, and apart it shows barely any pigment. So in the end, I ended up going for this one as my transition shade, and this was just a darker set pink, very perfect for, especially for people who are, like my skin color or darker, that has enough pigment to show up on our skin tone. I secondly went in with this one. This is just like a very buttery smooth, I want to call it like a pressed pigment pink with micro glitters in there. And then I went in with this one as my inner corner highlight right here. On the bottom, I have this one right here, which is like a dark purple. That is a shimmer with glitter as well. And so is this one that I use as my inner corner highlight. For my outer right here, I use this one, which is like a dark purple plummy matte. That one I had trouble blending with, okay? I did have trouble blending it out. When I was putting it back here, it was getting kind of patchy in certain areas. I made it work in the end, but I'm just letting you guys know it is going to take a little bit of effort of you probably either working through it or just don't even bother with it. I actually do like the palette. Do I feel like you need it? If you have the other ones, I don't feel like you need this palette. You really don't. If you have the Jasmine, you pretty much have a lot of the shades in here. If you have the Jasmine and you have the Moana, I want to say. I'm not even sure about the Tiana, because I'm not doing comparisons today, you guys. I'm not planning to. If you guys are interested in a comparison video where I can compare to the Jasmine, to the Tiana, and to the Island Girl in particular, those 3, because that's how the way they've been coming out lately, then I could do that, but that would be in a separate video, you guys. I just don't have the time for it right now at this moment. That's why I decided not to do it. So I'm going to start with the swatches, you guys. I'm going to start right here in this corner. I'm going to go clear across each of the rows until I can get to the end of this palette. And like always, you guys, my swatches are live. They do take forever because I actually swatch them one by one. I basically tell you what the shade is, whether it's a matte, a pressed pigment, a shimmer, glitter, how it feels, all that stuff. I do it. And then I do it on my both arms, of course. This is like 35 shades, I believe. So it does take a little bit longer. And it takes both of my arms, okay? I don't have 4 arms for you guys to do that many, palettes and stuff, but I do try to do the best I can. So, and none of the shades have names, so I'm just going to basically just be me winging it, telling you guys this is the first shade and that's the second shade, whatever, okay? So the first one is like an iridescent gold shimmer, almost like a white reflect. It is flaky. It does have this sort of green tint to it too. It looks really pretty. I think for like a inner corner highlight, that would be a very pretty shade to use for that. Second, you have this very beautiful, it's between like a sage green, maybe like an aquamarine blue. I honestly wanted to use this one today so bad, but I didn't. I was like, you know what? I want to kind of stay away from the greens and the blues because I feel like I go to those ones the most, and I try to like mix it up a little every so often I can, right? So the third one is another, I don't like this one. Honestly, it looks very clear, like sheer, as a topper. It's a perfect topper, honestly. I'm looking at it, and it's purple bluish tint. It does have a little glitter on it, but like I said, it's super sheer. I mean, honestly, that's like 4 applications already, 4 swatches, and you can barely see it in person anyways. Next, we have this purple shimmer. This is the purple that I used as my inner corner highlight. It is on the chunky side, you guys. It does feel like it, I mean, obviously it went on, right? But I feel like it's also had these little flakish in between that formula. So it's like a chunky formula. A little bit of fallout. Like I said, it is sort of this chunky formula. You have to like rub it on really good. Next, we have that pink that has glitter in it. So it is a shimmer with glitter. I want to call it like, maybe it is like a pressed pigment chunky glitter, because that's what it looks like in person anyways. But look at that color. It's very pretty. Now, I want to say that a lot of these shimmers in here are like wildfire shimmers. In particular, that one that I just swatched, the one that I used for my inner corner highlight right here. When I put it, it spread. It spread like wildfire. I had to clean as much as I could, but like, just be careful with that one. It does spread and just like go all over your face. You're going to be looking like Tinkerbell, just spit up on your face, and it's no joke, okay? Next, you have this. This is like a pearlesque pink, and it is a shimmer. It's like a foiled shimmer. It has all this flakage, like ridiculous flakage. Look at that. Now, you guys, I don't think the camera can capture just how vibrant pink. It is like a peach bright kind of pink. I don't think that's how it's showing up on camera. I'm not sure how it looks like to you guys, but in person it is like this peachy pink type of shade right there. Next, we have like this plummy, this is like a pressed pigment. Look at that. Do you guys see that? Look how pretty that one is. I actually like that shade. I didn't get to use it today, but dang, is that a nice shade. Look at that. It doesn't it remind you guys of like this pastel shimmery purple almost? That's really pretty. In the next row, we have this matte. It is like a cream beige matte. I'm not too crazy about those type of shades. They are on the lighter. The lighter the shade, the less interested I am in the shade. That's how I am. Y'all don't have to be like me, okay? We can like different things, and that's fine. But that is the shade right there. Next, you have this mint matte. Very light. Like I said, this is a very pretty shade, though. I'm not sure if it would work on how the formula is for the mattes, because, like I said earlier, that pink that I used that I thought would work for me had no pigment whatsoever. So who knows if this one, and it does have a little bit of fallout, okay? Who knows if that would work for me? I don't know. Next, we have this very vibrant matte green. This is like a yellow green. I want to call it like a chartreuse. It's very pretty. It's like a yellow green, right? That's really a nice one. Then you have this bronze shimmer. It does have a tinge of green to it for some reason. Or that's how it looks like in person. I'm not sure how it's going to pick up on the camera, but it's a very, very pretty shade. Now you have a glitter. This is a glitter, you guys. It does have adhesive already on it. And it is a bronze gold coppery type of glitter. I honestly wanted to use this so bad. I'm not joking, because I love... Anybody that has seen my channel for a while, if you guys been here for a while, y'all know I live for glitters. It's just when there's a glitter in a palette, I automatically want to use it. But I didn't think it would go well with this type of look that I have on. That's why I didn't use it. I go, you know what, that's more of like a coppery, maybe like a nude type of eye look that would go really good with that. And there's just literally like 2 neutrals in this palette, and the rest are just color, straight up color, right? Next, I'm going to use that pink one that I said didn't work for me. I think for someone maybe lighter, it might work for you. I'm just saying for my skin tone or someone darker, I don't recommend it at all. It is like a pink salmon type of matte. And it does pick up really good on the camera. In the pan, like in the actual palette, it does look like this very rosy type of pink, right? It shows up as this very pink rosy type of matte. And I thought that would be perfect for, you know, a transition shade on me. And I was like, okay, I'll use it. That thing barely showed up. I want to say from 1 to 5, it was barely a 1. And I'm not even that dark. So I know for sure for someone darker, it will not work for you. I don't care what type of primer you're wearing. That did not show. I was wearing Anastasia Beverly Hills primer. That thing did not stick. It barely showed up like nothing. I might as well have been wearing powdery baby powder on my face. Like, that thing sucked. So next you have that vibrant pink shimmer that I have on my lid. I have it pretty much on this side of my lid. It's a very like in your face type of pink. Now, the consistency of this shimmer is like a putty. It's very like pudding type of, it moves in the pan. That's what I want to say. It's very smushy. So just be careful with that. It's like a delicate one. I want to say it's equivalent to maybe what it feels like to have a Super Shock shadow and from ColourPop. So you're like moving it, your finger, and it's like moving around in the dang pan. And you're like, oh my God, what is this? So in the next row, we have another greenish bluish type of shade. This is a matte. It's very pretty. It's very, like, reminds me of this mint, but this is more on the bluer end, and it's a darker kind of blue. And like I said, it's a matte. This has pigment to it. Look at you. That was like literally 2 swatches, and look at that. It doesn't really need a whole lot, right? Now this is another mint green matte, but this one is a darker mint green. So there is a shade, I believe, in the Jasmine palette that reminds me of this one. So that, like I said, you guys, if you want me to do comparisons, I can, but like I didn't plan to because today I have a lot of things to do and I plan to go out after this. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do comparison. That's going to take longer and it's going to take forever. Next, we have this very vibrant teal, and it is a pressed pigment with glitter in it. It's like a shimmer with glitter. Very pretty, you guys. You guys won't believe that, but I have that shade on my lid. Like, and what it is that I put it on my lid, and I put it right here, and it like blended into the pink that was already there, right? It blended into this pink, and it created this lavender type of purple shade. I left it the way it was, okay? I didn't plan on telling anybody that it was there, but in reality, it's there. Now, had I put that first, because of the fact that I popped it on top. If I would have put it on first, it would have, you know, stayed on its own. It's the fact that I blended it on top of the other color and it created a whole new Play-Doh color, okay? Don't blame me, but it is, in fact, on my eye today, right now, okay? And then you have this yellow shimmer right now. Now, this definitely reminds me of that yellow shimmer that's in the Jasmine palette. So there's a lot of similar colors stories between the other 3, you know, palettes. I don't want to say they're exactly the same. People are always saying, you know, oh, it looks exactly the same. You don't expect every palette to look unique. In reality, when you get to a point where you have a bunch of palettes, you're going to have similarities between all your palettes, right? They're not going to be all unique and stuff. And then now we have this purple matte. This is like a fuchsia purple, what it calls it. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. But it is a matte, and look how pretty that one is. I'm going to start swatching over here now, okay? So the next one is this red. It's like a red matte. Oh, God, look at that. Now, it does feel on the dry end, but it's not like it's not pigmented. It is pigmented. I can see it already. And this is no joke pigment, okay? So I don't know what it is, you guys. I actually like reds when they come in palettes, but I don't like using them. Am I the only one that's like that? Like, I don't like using them because I feel like they don't mesh well with my skin color and I look like I'm bleeding. I don't know why I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't mind when they come in palettes for some reason, but like when I think about putting it on my eye, I think I look weird in red. Last thing red that I've ever tried on was the Cherry on Top palette from BH Cosmetics, which the video's on here if you guys want to check it out. I honestly did not like that look. I didn't like that palette. I thought that was like the worst of the ones from that collection. But that's just me, okay? You don't have to take my word for it. Then the last shade in that little row right there, we have this Plummy Purple. I'm not sure if that, it looks like a matte, but it feels like a shimmer. It might be a matte. I don't know. But look how beautiful that color is. That purple reminds me of like my shirt right here, one of the flowers. That's what it reminds me of. It's very pretty though. Next row we have a blue matte right here. It's a very pretty blue. Jesus. This is like a sea blue or an ocean blue, I want to call it. Now, there is quite a bit of fallout in that, just a swatch, you guys, so just be aware, okay? You are going to get a little bit of fallout from that shade. Next, you have an oceany blue. There's no such thing as oceany, but I made it up. The ocean blue shimmer. Very pretty, you guys. Look at it. It's like smooth like butter. That's a very pretty shade. I really like that one. Be aware of staining, you guys. I'm getting a lot of staining from that red and that purple mix right there. You guys see that? Look at my finger. And this one, the bluish, a tiny bit. Not a whole lot, but still. There was a little bit. Next, we have an emerald green matte. This one's pretty. I like that one. It does remind me of one of the ones from the Jasmine palette, I believe, too. Then you have a purple matte. This one does feel on the dry-in. And there is a ton of fallout from this shade, okay? This looks like a matte, a pink matte, almost like a berry reddish tone matte with glitter in it. It does have sequin glitters in it. That's what it looks like anyways in person. But look how pretty that pink is. It's like a pinkish red almost. It's like a very dark pink that it almost looks like red. That's what I'm trying to say. Now you have that pink shade that I used for my transition shade. And like I said, this one came out very vibrant, very in your face. It does feel on the dry end right now that I'm giving the swatch. But it did totally work for a transition shade for me. Last in that row, we have another hot pink matte. This does feel on the dry end as well. In the last row, beginning of last row, we have a dark Ever Forest green. Sort of like a, almost like a dark green, almost blue. This is super patchy. It's not even funny. It's so patchy. I just like looked at it like, dude. So freaking patchy. It's not even funny. Oh my God. Look at that. But the color's pretty. Don't tell me the color's not pretty. That's a pretty color. I'm telling you as of right now, I wouldn't even bother with it. I wouldn't even try using the thing. Patchy McPatch is just going to have you stressing to blend it out. You ain't going to blend that thing out to save your life. I would say won't bother with it, but at the end of the day, it's you. You do what you want with your face and with your palettes and all that stuff, okay? Put it on if you want. Don't listen to me. I'm just telling you that out of the 35 shades, I would not bother with her. Next, we have like a periwinkle purple blue matte. Ton of fallout, like a ton of fallout right now. But look at that color. I like that one. Next, you have, I think it's another glitter. It looks like a very, maybe like a background of shimmer because it feels like a shimmer, but it has a ton of glitter in it. But look at that pigment right there. That is such a freaking beautiful color. It's like a dark royal blue almost. I'm regretting not using that like right now. I'm regretting because it looks so freaking pretty. That is such a gorgeous shade. You know, there's nothing like that that I can probably compare to. Maybe in the Jasmine. I'm not even sure. I don't think there's anything like that in any of the other ones. So next you have this purple. Ooh, this is like another pressed pigment glitter. That's a very pretty. That's the one I have down here, you guys. It's very pretty. It's like a, I want to call it like a dusty purple almost. And it's very, very pretty. It glides on with a little bit of effort, just like this one. For some reason, both of them were like kind of dry to glide on, but they go on and they show up, okay? That's not the problem. The problem is not in the pigment. It's in the trying to use it. Next, we have a Mauve Tone. This is a matte, and it is like a dark Mauve Purple. This is the one that I used right here on the outer corner. And like I said, I did have problems with patchiness. That's just me though. It might not give you problems, but I will mention it that it was patchy. Like, it was bad patchy. I remember, like, but I did notice that if you take your time with it and just add it on little by little and just take your time blending it, it does blend. Okay? Just maybe it needs more tender love and care. I don't know. If you don't have the patience, do not waste your time with that one, because that one requires more love and attention. And sometimes there's like 10 kids and you ain't got enough time like that, okay? Get it together, kids. And then you have this, I want to call it like a dark purple, maybe like a espresso brown. And it does have these very bright pink glitters throughout it. It's a very tough kind of shade to explain, but it is like a dark espresso matte with glitter in it. It does have sequin glitters in there. Maybe it does kind of feel like a, I don't know, it might be a shimmer for all I know, but it does feel more like a matte than a shimmer, like a matte with sequins. And you already know I don't really like those type of formulas. I just don't see the reasons in them. The glitter falls out. It doesn't stay unless it's a shimmer, then it does stay. But other than that, it does kind of like just, you know, it falls off. You're blending it and it's blending away to nothing. If you're lucky, the pigment stays behind. But a lot of times the glitters just float off into nothingness on your, like, everywhere around the room. And it's like, okay, Jorge, why did you do that to me? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it why companies can insist on that. But whatever, you know. Last color in here, it's a very beautiful, almost like a, look at that, metallic royal blue. You guys always fall out from this dang palette. Look at that. Ignore that. And that is the last shade in here. It's so pretty. It does need a little oomph to get it to glide across your skin. But look at that. I love that shade. That's such a beautiful shade. And that is all of the shades in this palette, you guys. Hopefully, if you want to pick it up. You know, I'm not going to tell you guys. It's definitely for the price range, you guys, because everybody always asks me, what do you think? Y'all, it's $19. I'm not going to say anything bad about $19. At the end of the day, it's your $19. You choose whether you want to buy it for yourself. Honestly, I continue to buy Beauty Creations because I think that their palettes are worth the price. And yeah, you might get one or two duds in here. It's not 100% perfect. Like I said, I did have a bad experience with that dark purple. And I did obviously tell you guys to not use that green right there. That dark matte. But for the most part, I don't feel like it's 100% okay, trash or whatever. For the price range, it's actually a pretty decent palette. And at the end of the day, that's your $19. You choose whether you want to buy it for yourselves or not. And a lot of people stick to these brands because these are the brands that are more, you know, more people can afford them. More people can get a hold of them. Y'all will have to understand this palette, people in other countries can get it easily. Versus like ColourPop, they're going to be paying an arm and a leg to get it shipped to them. To Mexico or Guatemala or whatever. And it's like, dude, this is why they like these kind of brands, because the other brands are too expensive for them to buy from, okay? So that's pretty much it, you guys. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And until next time, stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Bye, you guys.